You mentioned the number for Penn State in terms of regional finals and national semifinals. Second time ever to this level of competition for Creighton. The last was in 2016. Creighton in their visiting blue uniforms. Perfect first contact and out of the back row. Nice dig by Jillian Grimes, the libero. And Merzik with her first swing. And that ball rightfully called down on the floor. Number 9 in white, Merzik, the senior, and actually in her graduate year, the transfer from Michigan with the opening kill.
And no surprise here, Paul, as we see Penn State starting the rotation with Jess Merzik in left front, Creighton starting with Nora Sis in left front. They're looking to get the absolute most out of those attackers in their first 3 rotations. This
is backcourt specialist Jocelyn Nathan, who's now starting 9 out of the last 10 matches. Ava Martin, a couple of balls out of the backcourt. Maybe we'll have another defensive battle like we had. Nice dig. This is really an important factor, and we'll talk about it in a moment. Slowing down Kendra Wade at the offensive end. Kill off the left side by number 2, Nora Sis, out of Papillion, Nebraska.
And Paul, to your point, keep an eye on Kendra Wade, the setter for Creighton, and how offensive she can be. Leading up to this match, she was 22 of 29 offensively, taking second contact. That time she goes for it early to get in Penn State's mind, and they defend the first one. That's huge.
Wait, we'll go back to serve for the first time. 2-time reigning player of the year in the Big East Conference, as well as setter of the year. And speaking of another hot hand, Taylor Trammell, 6'2" graduate out of Lexington, Kentucky. The transfer from Purdue, 9 of 17 in the win over Marquette.
And she was a good piece of complementary offense for them. She had 9 kills of her own that night.
Here is Grimes working on Sis. Right side to Jaya Johnson, dug by Nathan. Speaking of the defensive battle earlier today in Lincoln, Nebraska, what a display of gritty defense by both teams, but particularly the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That ball just over the end line. Good eye in the backcourt by the defenders, Grimes and Nathan.
Right shot, just inches long.
Penn State is currently 19-0 in this building this season, including a win late in the year over Nebraska. Mendelson with a block touch over the top, dug by Grimes. On target, transition swing. How about complimentary players and Caroline Jaravicius, number 14 in white, with the kill. Katie Schumacher, Colley, in her 3rd year back at her alma mater, Big Ten Coach of the Year, won a national championship for the Nittany Lions, their first back in 1999. In the battle of her life, for her life, announced that she was diagnosed with breast cancer back in September, has undergone several rounds of chemotherapy, and will have further treatment after the season is over and after the first of the year. We wish her all the very best. Here is Nora Sis, 2022 Big East Player of the Year. Nice save by Izzy Stark. On top of the net. Net violation. That's going to be nullified by a net violation. Merzik, no complaint on the call. There is Kirsten Bernthal Booth, Big East Coach of the Year, 3 times National Coach of the Year, and 11 straight Big East regular season titles. 13th consecutive NCAA championship appearance for Creighton. Have never been to the national semifinals and are not an underdog in this match. Right side Johnson. Good block touch by Merzik. Right side to Sis, over the top of the block, no touch, out of bounds.
Paul, Jess Merzik is a very good left side blocker. That is a luxury for Penn State to be able to afford to be late to close to her left. Mendelson knows that she has Jess Merzik there diving into that seam. That really saved them.
Missy, we've seen an awful lot of back row attacking out of Kendra Wade and Creighton. Are you surprised so much early?
The passing has been a little shaky, and I think Kendra Wade...
Nothing shaky about that.
Nothing
either in reception. Ava Martin
is such a wise setter. She knows what the best option is, trying to give her hitters good looks. When the pass is off the net, she is not afraid to use her backcourt, but when the pass is on, they become quite dangerous.
Maddie Bilanovic, very familiar to this rowdy Penn State Rec Hall crowd. She played 103 matches here for the Nittany Lions. Very good deep court set. That is awesome out-of-system volleyball by Izzy Stark and Merzik.
These outsides will take so many swings, Paul, that their ability to manage out-of-system swings, and that means to put pressure on the opponent. They've got to be high efficiency out-of-system, but they still have to be able to pressure their opponent.
Service ace by Merzick, mentioned before first serve. How number 9 had done it in reception, done it from the service line, and very, very good in middle back defense.
We've already seen some important block touches from her. She is the anchor of this Penn State team. She will not come off the floor, Coach told us.
That ball goes just out of bounds. Izzy Stark, keep an eye on number 21. The 6'1" freshman out of Vieira, Florida, has had a really tremendous opening season in the Big Ten for Penn State. She was freshman of the year in the conference. Best 3 out of 5 sets just underway. Another very good set out of system, and a rare miss by number 8, Cameron Hanna.
It's long, but Paul, I'll tell you what I like about the play of Cameron Hanna over the course of this tournament is that it's been aggressive. She's been aggressive from the start, and she's stayed aggressive throughout the match. I hope she does so.
Here's Sydney Breisinger on to serve and play defense out of Cincinnati. Another very good set, well off the net, and that ball is blocked. Elise Getzinger along with Kendra Waite. Getzinger in the middle, a national champion at Kentucky some years ago before moving over to play for the Blue Jays. 3-0 run for Creighton. Working on Merzick. Dug by Bilanovic. Right back at you by Nathan. This looks a lot like Lincoln, Nebraska earlier today. It is very hard to put the ball to the floor. Ava Faldudo wearing number 2 in white with a sprawling save.
Couple errors early from Cameron Hanna, and it doesn't phase her. Comes through with the high, hard swing.
24 of 42. She's 48 of 85 so far in the tournament, hitting just under 500. There is Quinn Menger out of Virginia, and a service ace down the line.
Does such a nice job of making the passer pass off body. Gets her sliding to her right. The result is an ace, and so far, shaky passing on both sides of the net here early, Paul.
26 aces now for Menger. Bilanovic, what a nice delivery. Good block by Trammell. Mishandled. Tapped down by Penn State.
Every point is so incredibly important, as you mentioned. The margins are small, Paul, and Creighton would certainly like to have that one back. You can't afford to give away points.
Heavy snowstorms in this particular area. Got word that several roads leading into University Park had been closed. Getzinger off the edge of the block. Crowd starting to fill in, but it is certainly impacted because the information staff from Penn State telling us in a match like this or a match like for Nebraska, people would come in from 3 or 4 hours away.
Yeah.
That's a tough one tonight. There is Martin. And that ball drifts long.
Martin is the ace leader in the Big East Conference, and for good reason. Her serve is really dangerous. So when they miss that one on first attempt, it feels like a huge missed opportunity for Creighton to string together some points.
54 aces against now 69 errors. Stark, number 21 again, the star setter, and that ball hit in front. Another back row attack, and this one nicely done by Martin.
Penn State again forcing Breisinger to pass the ball off to her right, and she handles that one much better.
Olivia Hausman, 5'5" freshman out of Roca, Nebraska. That ball is just out of bounds. Creighton has won 25 in a row. They were 18-0 in the Big East Conference. Both teams identical, 32-2 records. Only losses for Creighton were at Nebraska and to Louisville. Penn State's only losses were at Pittsburgh and at Wisconsin. Out of system for Sis. Sis first contact. Martin out of the back row. Dug once again by Grimes. That's trouble. Sis again with a third rocket, and that one missed out of bounds. Timeout, Creighton. 6-2 run by Penn State here at home at Rec Hall to take the 13-9 advantage. Let's go to Shelby Coppage up among them.
Well, I can barely hear you. It is hot over here with the Recce crew. These students are dedicated to volleyball, and there is a whiteboard sign, a nice good luck on final sign. These players come early and sometimes even talk with the volleyball team. They said today there was no talk beforehand. They know it's all business. Back to you.
Sorry, Shelby, couldn't hear you.
Fair.
Very good job defensively, thank you, Shelby, by Penn State so far, holding the second most efficient offensive team in the country to 105 right now, and they're doing it from the service line.
The serve pass game. We can talk about keys all day long, but we know that it comes back to that. If you can't control first contact, things can spin out of control quite quickly.
Creighton hits 332 on the year. Second best to Pitt nationally. They're hitting just under 105. Another poor pass. Sis looks for high hands and misses it just out of bounds. Good swing. Just fractionally missed the top of the fingers.
They've pulled Sis out of serve receive now, Paul. Take a little pressure off her, make a change.
Here is Cameron Hanna, very good tactically by Katie Schumacher-Colley, and another service ace. That is the fourth for Hanna and Penn State. Creighton is in real reception problems in Happy Valley. It was a 6-2 run coming out of the timeout. Hanna has added to that. It's a 5-0 run. This is the largest deficit Creighton has faced in the tournament.
I like the look of this serve from the inline because you get such a great view of the movement on the ball. I like the high contact that we're getting from Cam Hanna. She's got a nice driving serve. She really uses her length. Not only does she get some speed on the serve, it's got some movement to it.
25 aces now for Cameron Hanna, 6'2" graduate out of Lansing, Illinois. Second season at Penn State after transferring from Clemson. One more ticket to be punched into the national semifinals. Pitt Louisville. They will meet for the third time. Pittsburgh has won the first two meetings, 3-2 at home, 3-1 in Louisville, and Nebraska once again. How impressive, Missy. Not only taking out Wisconsin 3-0, but beating Wisconsin 3-0 all three times this year. Remarkable.
Time. And I tell you what, Nebraska is a complete team, but it is the defense that is so relentless. You know, you're watching that match, and Wisconsin is taking quality swings, hitting their targets, doing exactly what they want to do offensively, and it keeps coming back. Choboy, Rodriguez, incredible.
And Harper Murray took care of just about everything else in serve reception. Bergen Riley, the setter of the year in the Big Ten, leading the way for the Cornhuskers into the national championship once again. Creighton must side out here to get some rhythm. That's a good first contact to the outside, and Kiara Reinhardt missed that ball out of bounds. How many hitting errors? We did get a touch. There was a micro touch called against Penn State. So a much needed side out score for Kiara Reinhardt, 6'3" senior out of Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Here is Waite. Matching out of system swings. Merzik unloading. That ball is dug right on the sideline. Good first contact. What a play that time by Merzik, overhand, right to Izzy Stark.
The rip from Merzik comes right back at her, calls everyone off. She is one of the best ball players above her head. Strong hands on first contact. You'll see her do that in the backcourt. Really good hands.
Here is Grimes. That's really a good reminder. She likes to receive serve overhand. Pokey that time by Stark. Once again to Jaravicius, slicing off the angle. And that's going to be 4 contacts. So Caroline Jaravicius, one of those role players, if you were off to a nice start. There is Joe Jaravicius. Met him earlier today in the hotel. We had a nice brief conversation. 11 years in the NFL, starring as a receiver here at Penn State, and also won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay.
Caroline Jaravicius pretty quickly getting herself involved as a complementary attacker. 2 kills already on 5 attempts without an error.
After struggling a couple of days ago.
That's right.
Katie Schumacher-Cauley said that they needed more from Jaravicius and Mendelson, the other middle blocker opposite Trammell. Oh, that is such a good shot. Right into the campfire, where you cook the donuts. I've heard it called both.
Yes, but what she did is she split the seam. She put it in that one area of the court where there's a little confusion as to who's going to play that.
Merzik now 3 of 7, and a 5th service ace. This one luckily off the equipment. As co-champions of the Big Ten Conference with Nebraska, Penn State got one of the coveted 4 top seeds. They had lost at Wisconsin the last 2 years. Now hosting all the way through the regional finals. Grimes again. Jaravicius off the block and out of bounds.
Make it 3 kills now on 6 attempts, still errorless. Great job by Izzy Stark getting all of her attackers involved early. And Katie Schumacher-Cauley said, if we get the ball on Izzy, she has the ability to spread it around. Everyone has to do their part.
Jayla Johnson, that's going to be a net violation against Penn State. Big lead, however, for the Nittany Lions at 21-11. Back to Caroline Jaravicius, the 6'2" redshirt freshman out of Cleveland, Ohio. Only 5 of 16 with 4 errors in the win over Marquette. But a highlight, 18 kills in the win over Nebraska to close out the regular season.
You think that one middle was something to her?
Ace serve! Nor assists in the Creighton Blue Jays. Finally scoring from the service line. 50 aces even now for the Papillion, Nebraska native. 6'1" senior. Overpass, should have it here from Martin. Dug by Nathan. There's that play on 2 again. Really like that from Creighton. Smart shot up into the block. Izzy Stark really moving the ball around. Oh, good block one-on-one by Johnson. If you're Creighton, you've got to have it here. Good first contact. Not yet, says Merzik along with Mendelson. We're going to have a challenge probably on a net violation. Well, we're thinking about it.
Paul, with the score so skewed here in this first set,
yes, good call.
I don't think I use my
agree.
challenge if I'm Coach Bernthal Booth. This score just feels a little out of reach.
I completely agree with you, Missy Whittemore.
However, she will have an extended conversation with the down official, and that will pretty much serve the same purpose, perhaps as to slow things down for just a moment.
First referee is Devaney McClarty, and the second referee is Bill Stanley. Each team with 2 challenges. We'll get more into that when one is utilized. A lot of plays out of system. Johnson, 2 defenders there for Penn State. Martin. Penn State already with 16 digs. Nice play by Vilanovic. 17 digs. Merzik down the line and just out of bounds. Both teams really battling. First error on 11 swings for Merzik. It's late. Katie Schumacher-Cauley and her Nittany Lions are probably going to take this opening set, but it just feels like the Blue Jays now are finding a little something.
Interesting, they've subbed Cameron Hanna into the back court in this rotation. It gives them a back row option offensively, even though she won't pass here.
Perfect pass by Nathan, that was big. Block touch out of the middle by Getzinger. Merzik is really a good left side blocker. Overpass, and Mendelson, 44 and wide, able to put the ball away. Missed opportunity for Creighton. These 2 teams have never, ever played before. Creighton has never, ever been to the national semifinals. Johnson hitting out of the middle. That's a new wrinkle. Anna looking high hands and missed it out of bounds. Still the lead is large.
Jaya Johnson actually listed as a middle blocker for Creighton, and I believe that after these two graduate, we could see her in that position next year. But this season, holding down that right side, and boy, did she do a nice job against Maddie Skinner on Friday night in her blocking duties.
Penn State looking for their 14th national semi appearance. Izzy Stark off the edge of Ava Martin. 7 times a national champion for Penn State. The last was in 2014.
Izzy Stark, we talked about how offensive Kendra Waite can be, but Izzy Stark not afraid to go over herself. She's taken 24 attempts now in the tournament. 11 of those have been kills.
And Kendra Waite without a kill and only 1 attempt. Vilanovic, good pass, left side, and through a seam in the block for number 8, Ava Martin.
Kendra Waite so still with those hands above her head. She holds that middle blocker just long enough, and you see the big hole there for Ava Martin.
Kendra Waite, an absolutely exquisite and elite athlete. Taylor Trammell off the edge into the floor. Opening set goes to Penn State. Close early, Penn State got up 13-9. Pulled away for head coach Katie Schumacher-Colley and never looked back. Penn State takes the opening set. When we return, more on the battle that coach Schumacher-Colley is fighting against cancer.
Penn State coming in off their most successful season in at least 7 years. Their most successful under head coach Katie Schumacher-Colley.
My mindset has always been wanting to win and have the best team I can.
There's that Penn State lighting it up.
In September, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. I went through a series of biopsies and tests and met with different doctors, and I feel normal here at Rec Hall. I just want to keep going. I feel so loved, and I'm so lucky to have the staff I have.
A call to action indeed as V Week continues at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. The battle for Coach Schumacher-Colley, who's been very, very open with everyone about her battle, has had a lot more to go and has not missed one single day of practice, and her players know when she's going to get chemo. She is sharing this battle with all of her players as Jillian Grimes will go back to serve.
Paul, when your life is turned upside down, normalcy can sure be a comfort. And Rec Hall is normalcy for Katie Schumacher-Colley, who, by the way, was a member of their very first national championship team in 1999.
Creighton a little bit late, but good first contact. And then Jaya Johnson ripping the ball through the block once again. One of the unsung heroes, 9 of 12 in the win over Texas with only 1 error.
But notice the difference. First contact has them in system. And what is the result of that? Another huge hole in the block. That's when they're successful.
Good balance so far for Penn State. Nathan and Grimes in reception along with Merzick. Nathan right on target. Off the block and out of bounds by Jaravicius.
Jaravicius doing her part. Just as Coach said, everyone has to do their part, and the balance is very good right now for Penn State. Have to credit Izzy Stark, freshman setter.
Ava Falduto out of Elmhurst, Illinois. Backup libero, defensive specialist, had 11 digs against Marquette. Through the block and down. Stark is a good blocker, 6'1", strong athlete. That one just narrowly got through by Ava Martin. So this is the rotation when we spoke with Katie Schumacher-Colley that she was really going to have to make some adjustments. Rotation number 4, Izzy Stark in the left front, and you pointed it out in the opening set. Nice play by Stark. They brought in Cameron Hanna to add some offense.
Yeah, and you think that gets in Creighton's mind a little. All of a sudden they're thinking about defending the opposite side of the court. All the attackers are now stacked on that side with Jess Merzick and Hanna, and Izzy Stark takes advantage of that. I'm also noticing that Creighton flips their starting rotation a bit. We've got Ava Martin across the front row here for the first three rather than Nora Sis.
That ball served just out of bounds. We've been telling you about Kendra Waite and how offensive she had been all tournament long. 22 kills on 29 attempts. That's 2 kills per set and very stress relieving. They're easy, they're quick on 2. But right now, it's Izzy Stark that has a couple of kills. Kendra Waite still looking for her first. Nice pass. Valdudo right on target. Wonderful block coverage by Grimes. On the slide to Getzinger, heavy arm, and missed it out of bounds.
In their second round match win over Ole Miss, Getzinger was nearly unstoppable on that slide play. When she gets hot, she can score points in a hurry. And we've really yet to see her get going here at Rec Hall.
28 of 47 so far in the tournament. Hit 381 on the regular season, #1 in the Big East Conference. But quiet so far, being stymied by the Penn State block. Working on Martin, the front court left side attacker and a better block. Taylor Trammell along with Hannah.
Interestingly, when we talked to Coach Katie Schumacher-Colley, she said perhaps the matchup she would like would be to have Jess Merzick blocking the slide here. Well, that's not the case. It's Cameron Hannah, and Hannah holding her own over there with some really nice help from Trammell.
And if you're not familiar with the rules of volleyball, yes, there are 6 pieces of the pie, but you can start them any way you want to try to create or avoid a particular matchup. And coaches respectively scout, you know, if this happens in the opening set, where does Creighton start in the second, and vice versa with regard to Penn State. It's a real head game going on between the coaches trying to create positive matchups. Here's Ava Martin, right now with 4 kills on 13 swings. Nora Sis is really struggling. Sis now with 2 kills on 10 swings, 4 errors, hitting negative.
And Creighton right now missing one of their biggest weapons. That's the Ava Martin serve, as she's had a couple into the net.
Here is Stark. Across the sideline and just out of bounds. Let's go back to Shelby on the sideline. Are you safe now? Are you out of the crowd?
I'm barely safe, Paul. Thank you for asking. And you just saw outside hitter Ava Martin miss her serve. She is the best server for Creighton. Her head coach Kirsten Berthal Booth said, if we lose that rotation, it's the biggest hit. She went on a 12-0 serving run against Ole Miss. She is one of the best servers. And so when she's off, that definitely takes the hit momentum-wise for the Blue Jays.
Well, picking up the slack is Olivia Hausman, the 5'5" freshman out of Roca, Nebraska. Her hero is Justine Wong-Arantes. Pretty good hero, former Defensive Player of the Year at Nebraska, an Olympic gold and silver medalist. Good first contact there is Waite with her opening kill.
Nice placement by Waite. She doesn't go for that short tip. That ball is behind Izzy Stark. And as a setter, you're always tempted to be sneaking up a bit, getting ready to move into setting position. And that one pushed behind. Really nice job.
Grimes right on target, right side to Hannah. Dug beautifully by Breisinger. Boy, it sounded like there was a touch. Did Sis missed it? The struggles for #2. Sis, who was the Big East Player of the Year in 2022. Outstanding player, averaging just under 4 kills per set.
Coach told us yesterday that last year she was a block avoider. Never wanted to have anything to do with the block. This year she's really worked on using the block to her advantage. That time you could obviously see she was going for high hands, but just not able to get those fingers.
Coach Bernthal Booth telling us, trying to teach Sis even this late in her career. That was pretty good. That the block is your friend. She had block avoidance syndrome, and there's a cure for that.
One of the good cures for that is a big hole in the block. One blocker against Sis, not going to get it done for the most part.
Good selection by #15 Waite. Jaravicius, good swing, dug into the cross court by Waite. Sis again, looking for a hole and found it. Nathan flying, Grimes there as well. Very good shot into the middle of the court.
She created that with her high arm. She comes flying in on this, and you're going to get another look at it. Look at the high contact, doesn't give it away too early, and then pushes it again, dividing the defenders.
Working on Grimes, back to Merzick. off the block and out of bounds. Very nice first ball reception. Does it look to you like Creighton has settled in a little bit? Yes, they got aced 5 times, but prior to that, their first contact was not up to their standards.
I think the first contact has settled down, and now the offense has to follow. They took a lot of out-of-system swings, and so I think they're a little wild still offensively. They got to settle into a rhythm.
Johnson down the line. That's the way she looked on Friday afternoon, mind you. This has been a long time in University Park for the Creighton Blue Jays. They played the early match against Texas on Friday, and here it was an 8:30 Eastern start for them. That is a lot of time to manage. Merzick. Oh, smart shot.
I'm very surprised Kendra Waite didn't play that ball. She is one of the best defensive setters. I think she's trying to do everything she can not to make first contact, because obviously they want her running that offense, but she's more than capable of picking up that ball.
I think she felt that that tip had so much air under it. Somebody else better get that.
Yes, I think she thought so too.
Johnson hard off the block and out of bounds. Interesting when you talk to folks around Creighton volleyball about Kendra Waite, they say, you know, there are players, they say you want run through a wall to get a ball. The problem is that she will. So oftentimes Kirsten Berthal Booth has to say, wait a minute, Kendra, let's live to play another day.
Yeah, they told us that she's such a good athlete. She was a track star in high school. Over the course of a couple hours, she won state championships in the 100, the long jump, the shot put, and the pole vault. Over the course of a couple hours.
Is that all?
What's that tell you?
Yeah, in her senior year in high school in Kansas, she was the state track and field athlete of the year. What an incredible career she has had and will have in the professional ranks, and maybe the Olympics. Creighton leading by 3. Penn State won the opening set quite easily, 25-15. Third kill so far of the match for Izzy Stark.
Izzy Stark front row there. We've already seen her have success offensively, and Creighton seemed very uncommitted to defending her.
It's a very interesting adjustment by Katie Schumacher-Colley, what she's doing in rotation for having Cameron Hanna spread things out as a potential attacker out of the middle of the court from the back row.
And it really just involves her coming in a half a rotation early.
Getzinger down the right side. That missed by Faldudo, number 2 in white, who doesn't miss many. Getzinger needs to get it going.
She does, and what a smart choice. You know, the hard swing isn't there, but look at the control. Look at the snap of the wrist. She places that ball.
Getzinger now 2 of 5 with 2 errors. Good pass by Faldudo. Grimes stepping in. Mendelson on the step out. Really good defense. Creighton forcing Penn State to play another ball.
Vilanovic with the huge dig, and that can often frustrate an offense. When you take a quality swing, it comes back at you. You feel like you have to do something more. You have to create a kill.
7 digs for Vilanovic. Again, the former Nittany Lion. Cameron Hanna doing what Cameron Hanna does so far in this tournament.
The arm swing of Cameron Hanna, the height at which she makes contact with the ball, and then it's just a whip that comes through so quick.
Here is Maggie Mendelson, a basketball and volleyball player out of Ogden, Utah, for the Nebraska Cornhuskers before transferring. Good joust that time by Waite, and ripped down the line. Cameron Hanna again. Remember when we talked to Izzy Stark before the first round here, she talked about how different it was setting Merzick and Hanna. Explain.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, because those are 2 tremendous kills by Hanna, but it is the result of spectacular setting, because Izzy Stark knows she needs a little more air under the ball in order to take advantage of the jump of Hanna, and she's giving it to her. It's a high enough ball, but it's still fast.
Really good swing by number 8 in blue, Ava Martin. Martin averaging 3.7 kills, hitting .322. We have come to the media timeout here in University Park. Penn State up 1-0. One more ticket to punch to have a chance for this magnificent title, the 44th ever NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship. More from Penn State versus Creighton when we come back. Creighton siding out at 83% here in the second set. That will get you the 15-12 advantage. Let's go to the sideline to Shelby.
Creighton head coach Kirsten Bernthal Booth said, one of the biggest things we do before matches is visualization. Before the Texas match, she had her players lay on their back after practice, and she said, it's the 4th set, it's Texas, you're down 2, 23-21. You're serving, you're passing. How do you execute this role? She actually was involved in the creation of an app called Nerve Fuel that helps visualization, along with a former assistant coach, now coaching at Notre Dame, Craig Dyer. She also did this and said, okay, now you're at Penn State's home fan. You're in front of the wrecking crew. How do you stay calm and prepare for this one?
Thank you, Shelby. Wonderful stuff. Long string set that time by Stark. Right on target out to Hannah. That ball traveled over 30 feet.
And Izzy Stark is such a strong freshman. You just forget that this is her first year of college volleyball. The way that she carries herself, she's such a good decision maker, but her strength at the net, ability to push that ball long.
Getzinger off the edge of the block and out of bounds after a very good first contact, that time by Maddie Vilanovic. We have a challenge. Katie Schumacher-Colley. My lip reading is not as good as it used to be, but I think she said, let's listen to the official. Here comes the official.
The ruling on the court is out, point Creighton. Penn State is challenging, there was a touch.
That the ball touched Getzinger on the way out of bounds off the Penn State block.
She was pretty quick to the green card, and I heard her say to the official, it touched her. No question in Katie Schumacher-Colley's mind.
At least Getzinger was also equally quick, maybe even more so, to get back to her huddle to try to play this off. Number 13 on the right side. Yep, got her off. Yeah, putting her hand in the pocket, never got it. Good celebration. She's a it definitely went off her right hand. She wants to be a physician. She's a biochemistry major, but she might be taking some drama classes somewhere along the way. Acting classes, anyway.
You think there's enough here to overturn it?
Yes, I do. I think that ball clearly hit Getzinger's right hand on the way out of bounds after the block by Hannah.
Let's watch the direction, see if it changes.
Point.
Does appear to turn right there. Interesting.
Elise Getzinger won a national championship.
Review, this play is going to stand. Penn State will lose the challenge.
Wow. So the call will stand. There was not definitive proof, and now Penn State has one challenge remaining.
And that was my concern. While I would guess that maybe it did touch her, I just don't know that there was enough to overturn it.
Okay. Wrong again. Add it to the long list. Thought it definitely hit her right hand. Houseman back to serve. Creighton on the board, most importantly with a 16-13 advantage.
And they need to take this point and run with it.
Service error there. Offensively, in the opening set, Creighton hit 081. In the second set, they're hitting 438. What accounts for that big a turnaround?
First contact. All about first contact. It wasn't there in set 1. Creighton handling that first ball much better now. And when you give Kendra Wade options, you're going to hit near 400.
Good pass. That was a difficult serve. Once again, out of the back row, dug by Stark. Trying to get Sis going, trying to get Martin going out of the back row. Merzik. Tight, right to Trammell. Snapper over the top, Waite got a piece. And Taylor Trammell. It's the one rotation she usually serves and stays on the floor. That was a really good high, hard swing from Creighton.
Yeah, and because Hannah had just served, she's in middle back there for that half a rotation. Smart swing on Sis's part just to put it on top of her.
Sis now with 5 kills, 5 errors on 14 swings. Merzik again. Right side to Jaravicius. No, what a choice. Taylor Trammell, basically nobody up.
Can't say enough good things about Izzy Stark right now and the balance she is creating offensively. She's got everyone involved. Credit Trammell for doing the work in transition to be available.
And you talked about how good Jess Merzik is overhand. That was a perfect in rally overhand connection. Off speed, Kiara Reinhardt, 6'3" senior, 9 of 16 against Texas on Friday afternoon here at Rec Hall. She too needs to get it going, number 5 in blue. Number 1 in the Big East Conference in blocking efficiency. Blocking has not been that bit of factor so far. Ava Martin with the tap down.
Penn State has certainly had the advantage from the service line, but Creighton finally creating a point.
Timeout called by Creighton. This was absolutely a match where the margins were slim as could be, and Creighton working their way back to a tie, 1 set apiece.
While Norris is working her way out of a hole, Ava Martin carrying the load right now for Creighton. 17 swings without an error, 6 kills to go along with that, hitting above 350. And they're calling on her not just in the front row, but across the back row as well when things aren't going well for them.
Both teams much better in the offensive phase of the game in terms of side out and transition attacking. Penn State hit 211 in the opening set and won it easily because they held Creighton down to 081, but Penn State now at 381 and Creighton an astronomical 455. But remember, statistically, second best offense in the country behind only the Pitt Panthers. There is Nora Sis, very, very busy young woman, a nursing major, as are several of her teammates at Creighton. That ball set too tight. Jaravicius misplayed it. That's a break so far for Penn State. They're ahead in the point. What a good swing. Ava Martin again.
Not a rally anyone would have designed except for the way it ended. And finally, Creighton able to get ahead in that point with some control on first contact. Ava Martin showing you her range as she turns that one down the line.
Good passing. Jaravicius looking for high hands. Begging for a touch and goes begging, does number 14 in white. Big lead now for Creighton. Neither set has been, as you might say, been a nail biter so far. Long way to go. Ace serve for Creighton.
Penn State came storming out of the gates from the service line. They have 5 aces already, but Creighton starting to catch fire. They have 3 now.
Norris's parents in enemy territory enjoying that one. That ball deflected. A good block out of the middle that time by Reinhardt, working against Mendelson. There are the Sisses, younger sister as well. I met the parents earlier today, staying at the same hotel. And they were very much looking forward to this challenge. I don't think they liked it half an hour ago, but they're liking it just fine now. 6-0 run for Creighton, 2 points away from evening this match at a set apiece. The 3rd annual Jumpman Invitational tips off Tuesday in Charlotte, with North Carolina taking on number 9 Florida at 7 Eastern on ESPN. The women's Jumpman matchup between number 10 Oklahoma and number 20 Michigan begins at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Once again, 1 ticket still to be punched. Louisville is in from the ACC, along with conference mate number 1 overall seed Pittsburgh. And very, very impressive, and what an atmosphere in Lincoln, Nebraska earlier today as the Nebraska Cornhuskers took out the Wisconsin Badgers. 3-0. Championship on Thursday. You see the times, 9 Eastern, so 6:30. And then Nebraska waiting to see it. Will it be Penn State, who beat Nebraska in this building to close out the Big Ten season, or the Creighton Blue Jays?
All season long, we've been saying the ACC and the Big Ten were the conferences to contend with. The ACC has held up their end of the bargain. Nebraska has already punched their ticket. Can Penn State make it a party, or do the Blue Jays crash the power conferences?
The last time a non-football team won a national championship was Long Beach State in 1998. The last to make it to the national semifinals was Santa Clara. Pitt has won the national championship, all under legendary head coach Russ Rose, 7 times. First in 99, Schumacher Colley was on that team 4 in a row, and then 13 and 14. Merzick. Mendelssohn's been very quiet. There is Jaravicious into the deep cross-court corner, staving off set point.
And the strong hands of Izzy Stark. From right back, she sets it all the way out to left front, and then when she's pulled into left front, she goes all the way behind to Jaravicious, setting against the flow beautifully.
Creighton is so good, as is Penn State, but you know that even after taking the 25-15 loss, they were certainly not going to go away. Ava Martin, set point number 2, and we're tied at a set apiece. And Martin having an absolutely magnificent match. 8 kills on 19 swings, no errors.
Coming in and smashing one in the gap that time. They bring her in from the antenna. Kendra Waite finding her in all zones along the net.
Now set point. Really good swing by Martin. Bilanovic, tough serve. And it didn't take long to even this match at a set apiece.
5 service aces for Penn State. All came in set 1. Now 4 service aces for Creighton in the second.
Very, very streaky, both opening sets. Penn State almost perfect in the opening set from the service line, and in reception won at 25-15. And then Creighton completely turned the tables, hit 500 thanks to Ava Martin in the second set. Let's go to Shelby on the sideline.
Coach, Ava Martin, 7 kills, 0 errors. What's making her so lethal right now?
You know, I think she's starting to move the ball around, and we're trying to attack different areas of the court. So she's doing a great job. We need her to get going behind the service line. That's going to be key to our success going forward, too.
First set, your team had 15 points. You took the second set. What's the biggest thing that changed?
Well, first contacts. They served us off the court in the first set. So once we calm down, and you're going to have nerves. I think both teams have nerves. So hopefully here going forward, both of us can play our best ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Shelby. As we talked about, Missy, before first serve, this stage of the tournament, the margins are wafer thin. Not exactly nail-biter territory. We'll see what happens as we move forward. Let's go to Sam Gore and Jennifer Hoffman in our volleyball studio.
Tight match on paper. You only have 1 kill and 2 digs more than Creighton. How does your team separate themselves this third set?
I mean, we need to pass better. I thought we were way more aggressive in the end line the first set, too, so we need to be aggressive and be able to pass.
Freshman setter Izzy Stark has 3 kills, being aggressive. What do you like from her confidence right now?
You know, I mean, she's tough at the net. She needs to be able to score a little bit more and be confident in that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Your thoughts, Missy?
Passing. You know, I mean, both of these coaches, of course, that's what it comes down to. This has just been a tale of 2 cities in terms of the pressure created from the inline. We saw 5 aces from Penn State in that first set, and now Creighton comes back with 3 in the second, a total of 4 overall in the match, and things just absolutely swung, and it all depends on that first contact.
And other than on the scoreboard, all the numbers are very, very even right now. Taking turns, doing a very good job in serve reception. Crowd very much getting involved. No surprise there here at Rec Hall. Again, very tough to get here because of the snowstorm. A lot of roads closed in adjacent areas. That ball by Jess Merzick. Number 9 in white, off the block and out of bounds 4 times. First team all Big Ten.
I think the other big takeaway, Paul, is that we've talked about what a heavy load these outsides carry. And to this point, the only one who's really having a huge impact scoring-wise on the match is Ava Martin. The others are sort of washes in terms of their kills and errors.
Jocelyn Nathan wearing number 11, the 5'6" defensive specialist out of Wilmington, Delaware, coming on and missing that. Here is Nora Sis, speaking to what you just said, 5 kills on 15 swings, 5 errors. Working on Merzick, good reception. Jaravicious viciously through the block.
The set there from Izzy Stark, the strength. Look at her moving into left front. The easy ball is to hang that up on the outside to Jess Merzick. She doesn't go with the easy set. She goes with the quality set behind. And you see that choice left and opening in the block.
Very nice overhand pass, right side, one-on-one. Jaya Johnson is dug by Stark, but out of bounds. Yeah, both coaches, they talked about first ball. Well, what do you know? But it seems like first ball was very good on Penn State side, and then it flipped jerseys. Jaya Johnson starting to get hot, and Creighton sided out at 83% in the second set, which is almost unbeatable. Here's Bilanovic, the former Nittany Lion. Merzick, dug by her former teammate. And Nora Sis missed it out of bounds, and the frustrations continue. number 2 in blue, has had a magnificent career. On a percentage basis, she is the winningest player in Creighton volleyball history.
These seniors for Creighton have a record of 119 wins, 16 losses.
Coming to Martin, smart choice. Talk about, you were a setter at Florida. You know just by playing the game and what your coach is telling you that Ava Martin's having a nice night.
Yeah, I mean, feeding the hot hand, and Kendra Waite just doing such a good job continuing to keep her involved and yet not consistently putting her in really difficult situations to manage. You have to find her in some in-system situations as well.
Merzik with the overhand, a little bit tight. Good read by Martin. Tough chance here. Off the top of the block. And remember, Kirsten Bernthal Booth told us when we talked about this high flat shot that Ava Martin took to it like a fish in water.
Yes, very natural. She said it came naturally for Ava Martin, and you see it right there. She had no approach on that shot, Paul. That was just a gather and jump.
Ace serve. Breisinger, number 24 in blue.
And all of a sudden in the ace category, the Blue Jays have evened it up.
Penn State won the opening set 25-15. Complete turn of the tables. Creighton came back and won the second 25-16. Martin and Johnson right now for the Blue Jays. 16 kills, no errors.
And again, Creighton has started in the rotation where they're getting Ava Martin across the front row first instead of Nora Sis based on the production that they've had from her this match.
Right side to Getzinger, off the block, off the defender, Grimes, and out of bounds.
Absolutely, you saw the defender in the backcourt try to make a play on that even though it was high because it caught blocker's hands. She had to go for it.
Before first serve, I asked you about the keys for each team. Now that we've been playing for a while, has that changed? What are your thoughts?
Well, interestingly, I thought it would have a lot to do with complementary offense. And here we are looking at our 4 pins, and the production isn't quite there. I think that the defenses are camped out on them. And so while production might not be there, they have to play clean. And I like the way that Nora Sis is starting to try to clean it up. They've got to lower their errors. Even if their kills aren't there, they can't let that get in their head.
Cameron Hanna, who has been so clean in terms of hitting errors, 5 of 14 with 4 errors. Give the defense and the serving a lot of credit. Joust coming at the net, and it will be 4 contacts. Creighton rolling a little bit in the beginning of the third. Timeout called by Penn State. The Creighton Blue Jays and the Penn State Nittany Lions have never played before, both 32-2 on the year. The NCAA Volleyball National Semifinals are on Thursday, December 19th on ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. The subsequent Sunday on the 22nd will be the national championship on ABC. 72-3. In NCAA tournament matches played at Rec Hall. 1 loss was to UCLA. I remember that a long time ago. Very far and few between. And we're not nearly there yet.
No. And don't forget, this Penn State team is undefeated in Rec Hall this season.
So they are 19-0, including a win over Nebraska. Penn State got in, beat Delaware State 3-0, beat North Carolina 3-1, and beat Marquette also 3-1 to get to this regional final. Their first regional final since 2019. Trying to get back to the national semis for the first time since 17. Here is Quinn Menger. Creighton crowd counting her down. Good pass. Read by Merzik, not well controlled. Penn State, free ball, lots of choices. What a block by Sis, along with Getzinger.
It looked as though the Blue Jays had given away a free ball opportunity, and they come back with defense to score. Nice block help here by Nora Sis, coming in to defend the setter, and then she's able to help in the middle.
Go to Shelby on the sideline.
Kirsten, just on that timeout huddle, Creighton head coach Kirsten Bernthal-Booth said, adjust your blocking, stop going so high, go more over the net, otherwise Penn State will roll over you. Then you saw it play out, they got the block.
Thank you, Shelby. Sis trying to find her rhythm offensively to the outside. And another block, this time by Waite, along with Reinhardt.
Paul, this matchup should be favorable for Cam Hanna. They have her in the front row against Kendra Waite rather than Jaya Johnson, and yet Kendra Waite has her number, and it has so much to do with what Shelby just said. Go over, take away the low, hard ball. That's what Kendra Waite does best.
Kendra Waite is a stat stuffer, averages almost a block per set out of the setting position. Much better rhythm to that offense, and the ball missed out of bounds, and Penn State reeling right now.
A couple blocks, and all of a sudden you're in the attacker's head. They're trying to create shots they don't have.
Take me to Penn State's side. What is the message from Coach Schumacher-Colley?
I think it's stay within yourself right here. One contact at a time.
Oh, that ball just out of bounds. That was a really good read by Sis, because that ball went off Martin and Hausman, bang, bang, but it was 2 contacts. That third ball had to come over.
And notice the anchor, the answer for Penn State. You said, what do here? They find Jess Merzik. In hard situations, who do you go to bail you out?
11-6 is the advantage for Creighton. They were the number 2 seed in this section of the draw. Perfect pass to Sis. Dug by Grimes of Penn State. Dug by Bilanovic, formerly of Penn State. The joust is won by Kendra Waite, the former Kansas track athlete of the year. The 100 meters, the long jump, the pole vault, and the shot put.
I don't even know if this is a joust. It's a one-handed block almost.
Kendra Waite is something special athletically, and is one of the best setters in the country, no question. Right side seam in the block, nicely done. 2 very, very accomplished setters, one at the end of her career, hoping to win her 120th match. The most all time is Kendra Waite. On the other side, just getting started, is Izzy Stark.
And I like this choice by Izzy Stark, because Cam Hanna struggling at the left pin. Remember, she played a good bit of right side a season ago. That looked like a really natural swing for her. Maybe they can get her going.
Good pass by Martin. Back to Sis, down the line, and missed it. Number 2 in blue, out of bounds. Just seems like things are a little bit too fast for Penn State. I know they're creeping back in, but they have not gone through good long stretches of first ball or transition side outs.
And Nora Sis has not quite been able to get her footing here tonight. That was a beautiful set by Kendra Waite. She held the middle block, and it was just a miss by Sis. There we go.
I'll tell you, Ava Martin is not only doing it offensively, but just is nails in reception, number 8 in blue. Penn State's got to think about that. They might want to get off her. They're really good in reception. There is Nora Sis, 6 kills on 20 swings, 6 errors. Very nice set, long range. Caroline Jaravicious, magnificent set by the freshman of the year in the Big Ten Conference.
Heavy swing that time from Jaravicious, just powers it through the block. Look at Jess Merzik hanging in there in serve receive. She does so much for this team. And the push, falling to the floor, the push behind Izzy Stark. What a bright career she's gonna have.
Jaya Johnson, good read by Nathan. Really good read. Hole in the block, thrown into the middle, Waite all over that. Vilanovic, Martin. Off the hands of the block once again. And a change here, Jordan Hopp, the 6'2 graduate from Alliance, Nebraska, played previously at Iowa State, on the floor now for the Nittany Lions.
And what was it you said, Paul? Ava Martin took to it like a fish in water.
Loves the block, hit high seams. There is Jordan Hopp, played sparingly so far, the 6'2 graduate student, hit 325 last year at Iowa State. On now for Maggie Mendelson. Creighton has never been to the national semifinals. Merzik. Vilanovic is nails in the left back. Oh, good block by Penn State, a little bit lucky. That was a good high swing, and Penn State really needed that rejection.
Hopp making the most of her opportunity to impact this match, and no surprise she's alongside Jess Merzik. Solid left side block.
There is Ava Faldudo, averages 2.3 digs per set, playing part-time. Look at that dig. Smart shot. Good read that time by Sis. Martin again. Right side to Johnson. Huh. Frequent flyer miles. Martin calling for it. Go to the hot hand. Good read by Merzick. Martin again. Watch the tip. Martin. No touch.
Could that be the moment?
Oh, just served out of bounds by Faldudo.
Penn State needed a turning point.
Breisinger will come back on. Jaya Johnson will head to the sideline. All freshman team out of the Big East.
Cam Hanna checks back in the backcourt as an option here offensively.
Working on Merzick again. Merzick, no approach, having to go high flat. Bilanovic right on target. What a good read. Fantastic read by Faldudo. And then thrown down. An offensive battle between the setters.
I like the aggressive play from Izzy Stark. Kendra Waite not able to get it to the floor, and the freshman says, let me show you how it's done. Look at the throw with authority.
Well, we talked to Katie Schumacher-Cawley yesterday. She was very concerned about Kendra Waite and all of those quote-unquote easy kills. Penn State's taking care of that. The block is my friend, says Ava Martin.
Went for it high flat in that incredibly long and exciting rally that we had moments ago. That time she turns it off the edge.
Martin now with 12 kills on 30 swings. An error as an attacker in college volleyball or volleyball, you get hit a ball out of bounds or you get blocked. Ace serve for Creighton.
Creighton already had 5 aces in this one without an ace from Ava Martin. Now she puts one on the board.
56 so far this year. The lead is 17-12, make it 17-13. Very impressive turnaround by Creighton. 32-2, they've won 25 in a row, 11 straight Big East regular season titles. Lost the opening set a long time ago, 25-15. There is Menger once again taking her time. Good pass. Getzinger missed it down the line. Heavy, but wide.
Taking a look at Getzinger's numbers now, 4 kills on 9 attempts, but 3 errors to go along with it, only 111.
Not good for a middle attacker. You've got to be at least over 300 in terms of efficiency. Look at the serve receive, that going deep. Out of system here, looking at Sis. Watch the tip again. Teams are battling so hard. A little miscommunication that time. Unlucky for Penn State between Trammell and Hanna.
The defensive intensity that we have seen all day long in these tournament matches. This is fun.
Houseman on to serve. The lead is 4 at 18-14. The winner of this set will take a 2-1 advantage. Back-to-back service errors by Creighton. A reminder of what's at stake. First Big East team to reach the national semifinal. And Penn State, it would be their 14th all-time, going for their 8th national championship.
And for Penn State, it has been since 2017, and that is the last time they hosted a regional final.
Merzick, perfect dig off the block deflection. It is tough to get a tip to the floor against Creighton. So just that Taylor Trammell one-on-one against Martin.
Really nice job here by Penn State playing their blocking assignment, because as we talked about off the top, this Blue Jay team has a back row attack in every single rotation. Penn State looking well prepared for that.
Oh, there's the tip again. That's just jumping ability and strength. That was Kendra Waite against Taylor Trammell.
And Brysinger having to make some tough decisions. Those balls could possibly be long, but she's not sure. She plays them, they're eating her up. Not bad passes for how difficult that serve is.
Break for Penn State. Kendra Waite's now in the backcourt. She can't tip for a score. Hannah right side. Good swing off of Reinhardt.
Blue Jays actually try to make her pass and try to take her out of that offensive option, because in the last trip around, she sided out from right front. They go to her again, gets the job done again.
Hannah hitting .302 on the year, looking for her 24th ace on the season. Has been superb as an attacker throughout the tournament, but Creighton has got her number, at least for the last set and a half. Good pass. Ava Martin has been nails in reception. Quick to the outside. Sis right on the sideline. We might have a challenge. Remember, Katie Schumacher-Colley, there was a bang-bang play earlier in the match. She only has one challenge remaining.
And that's why she is thoroughly checking with the people around her. She's asking her bench, asking her coaches. She's trying to decide if she goes to that card.
This is a big decision. You have only a limited time to pull that card. And we're not going to have a challenge. How big was that call then earlier on? Penn State thought it had gone off the block and then off of Getzinger. Jaravicius, beautiful swing. Been very effective, number 14 in white. This is a look back at the swing by Nora Sis.
Was not challenged by Penn State, even though Katie Schumacher-Colley highly considered it.
Any part of the ball on any part of the line. Very, very tough no call. Ball was called in. Merzik. Bilanovic again. Merzik again. Ball was in. Clutch swing by number 9. Timeout called by Creighton. Adjustments, if any, that you see from Penn State. But before that, let's just listen in for as long. Let's just listen into this. Great crowd, even on a very, very stormy and snowy night. Penn State 19-1 co-champs with Nebraska, looking to punch their ticket right along with the Nittany Lions. There's the national championships, all of those won under the great tutelage of Russ Rose. 1,330 wins, the most ever in Division I. Only program to appear in all 44 tournaments. Talked about the last semifinal appearance. Memory serves that in 2017, Penn State lost to Nebraska. 4 straight titles and a record that will never, ever be broken. 109 consecutive match wins in the middle of all those national championships. Back with Missy Whittemore, Shelby Coppage, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a special couple of weeks of college volleyball. The most competitive, the most upsets we have ever seen, probably. Let's go to Shelby.
Paul, Penn State outside at Cameron Hannah was the first one in the huddle, and she looks completely relaxed. She was shaking hands, laughing, saying, we're good, we're good. Reminder, her head coach, Katie Schumacher-Colley, after those 24 kills against Texas, said that Hannah has the full green light to go off against Creighton. And she said, I do not care if it's a secret that we are going to Hannah. We absolutely need her. She's trying to be a voice on the bench right now and get a breather in.
Thank you, Shelby. Been also deployed as a back row attacker more so than before. That ball is out of bounds. And we're tied at 20. The block defense for both of these teams has been superb, slowing 3 of the 4 outside attackers, the other being Ava Martin, the outlier. Bilanovic, perfect pass. And off the edge, once again, finding a piece of the block is number 8 in blue, the offensive star, 13 kills on 34 swings.
And the difference isn't necessarily the Ava Martin swing, it comes back to the pass. A good pass allowed Kendra Waite to hold that middle blocker.
Here is Maddie Bilanovic. A lot of pressure on Merzick. Oh, through the hands that time of Jaya Johnson. I'll tell you, Missy, one thing that I've noticed, tips do not go down against Creighton. If I'm Merzick and the rest of the Nittany Lions, you got to take big cuts.
And I feel like that's been the reason that Penn State has played theirself right back into this third set, is that they have been the aggressor here down the stretch.
Both teams really good in block defense in this set. Tough chance for Martin, well off the net. Penn State, a look at the lead. Hop is slowed. Oh, what a set. What a delivery, but missed out of bounds by Johnson. Looking for hands. First lead of the set for Penn State since 2-1 or 3-2. We'll decide. We'll split the difference. Faldudo working on Martin. She's in the front court. Reception and kill. Not yet. Creighton coaching staff wants a double. Called on Izzy Stark, but instead the ball is down on Creighton's side, and it's 23-21. Timeout, Creighton. Creighton was complaining that there was a double contact on the part of Penn State's Izzy Stark. Explain what they might have been unhappy about.
Well, you know, that first contact can be called a double. If it goes over the net, that ball can also be called a double. The area where the rule has changed this year is that on second contact, if you set the ball and your teammate takes it over, then that cannot be called a double.
This is earlier in the rally. The play we were looking for is number 21, Izzy Stark. She did send the ball over, and it wasn't necessarily that attractive, and immediately the coaching staff of Creighton was up off the floor, because if that double contact does go over the net, that then is a violation, a big no call. Teams going after each other, one set after another.
Creighton's numbers have dipped here in the third set. They started off at a much higher clip, have been high error here down the stretch, and all of a sudden hitting below 100 here in this third set when it really looked like they were in the driver's seat.
Well, as we've seen throughout the course of this tournament, it is very, very difficult to put the ball away. Service pressure, block and defense working together. They're a magnificent defensive specialist and liberos. Nebraska is in, so are Pitt and Louisville. Creighton led 12-6 in this set. Good work by Penn State to slow them down and to come back in. And led by Izzy Stark and Jess Merzick. Here is Faldudo. Good serving on Martin. Tough chance on the 3-meter line. Coming to Merzick. Oh, unloaded! Set points now for Penn State.
It's a different aggression in this swing. It feels like Creighton is swinging to extend rallies, and it feels like Penn State is swinging for points.
No more tipping. No more tipping allowed. Set point. Faldudo. That ball is just out of bounds. One set point saved. That'll make it 24-22. Jess Merzick, 10 kills on 32, hitting 250. Those complimentary players. Look at what Caroline Jaravicius is doing. 8 of 15. Remember, she had 18 kills in the win over Nebraska. Very capable, and she's doing it tonight. Set point number 2. Here's Breisinger. Coming to Merzick again. Penn State way ahead in the point. Merzick! Murdering Merzick! Jess Merzick, a 9-2 run to close out the third set after Penn State trailed. And boy, they looked like they were really in trouble. What a magnificent turnaround for the Penn State Nittany Lions. One set win away from yet another trip to the national semifinals. Now it's the Blue Jays' turn. Can they get back in this match? They're coming up next, backs against the wall. Back with Missy Whittemore and Shelby Coppage. I'm Paul Sunderland. Take us over to Creighton, up 12-6. Where did it get away?
You know, I think one of the things that we actually talked to Katie Schumacher-Cauley about at practice the other day was the fact that in out-of-system balls, we have to make them scramble. And I felt like that's where Creighton let it get away. In out-of-system situations, they were swinging some high snap shots, but they were just too easy for Penn State. Penn State was transitioning those, turning digs into kills quite easily. Penn State in those situations kept the pressure on.
Kirsten Bernthal Booth. Playing against a team like Penn State is nothing new for Creighton. They played the second, oh, look at that. Service ace from Kendra Waite. Creighton plays all comers. Their only losses on the year were in 5 to Nebraska. And in 5 as well to Louisville. Just underway here in the 4th. Must win. Trammell no to the outside. Merzick is blocked. Covered by Nathan, but a good start here defensively and block defense. Kiara Reinhardt with a stuff block for Creighton, wearing number 5 in blue.
Jaya Johnson really diving back in, and I like the second effort from Reinhardt. Looked like she was beat, but she stuck with it.
Good pass by Grimes, back to Jaravicius, who's having a big match. Unforced error to start out the early stages of this 4th set, but number 14 has absolutely been key.
It's going to be her 9th kill already in this match. She gets to double digits, and that's the complementary volleyball that we're talking about right there.
Hitting .412. Working on Sis, still waiting to find her rhythm. Unforced error by Creighton.
Trying to run her out of right back, and it just didn't seem like the communication was there. She was coming in front of the setter setting her behind.
A lot of these back row sets right now to Martin, is that because Nora Sis is struggling so much?
I think so. I think trying to keep Nora Sis from having to take so many swings in those out-of-system situations.
Pass here, behind to Reinhardt. Beautiful delivery that time by Waite.
Great communication that time, and that's the way not to lose your middle attack. When your ball is passed along the net up toward left front, the middle stays right with her.
Merzick, what a very good pass. Reception to attack. Oh, I like that set. Jaravicius wasn't ready. I thought that was a good set by Grimes. Jordan Hopp, wearing number 5 in white, 6'2" graduate, transfer from Iowa State, has stayed on in the place of Mendelson. Merzick looking for high hands, didn't get over the top of the ball and missed it out of bounds.
Not the result she wanted, but I like the fact that she goes up swinging.
Timeout, early timeout called by Penn State. How would Creighton respond? Well, right now they're getting some breaks from the Nittany Lions, and they will take them, leading 6-2 in the 4th. Izzy Stark and the Penn State Nittany Lions, co-champions with Nebraska in the Big Ten, trailing Creighton 6-2 here in the 4th set. Must win for the Blue Jays. They were champions for the 11th straight time of the Big East. Nathan, tight pass. What a dig. Nathan staying in the play. Away from Jaravicius, roll shot by Merzick. We haven't seen off speed get to the floor, but that was a good one.
Again, notice they're sending an off speed toward Kendra Waite, baiting her to make first contact. She's wanting to set the ball. She's let a couple of those go, thinking someone else can get to it, and they don't. So it's really nice placement by Penn State.
Be careful what you wish for. Waite will get a hold of that and go direct to Getzinger or to Reinhardt. Ball's got to come. Good play by Faldudo to get there quickly. Stark with the first contact, coming to Merzick. Oh. Classy, classy swing on the left side. Let's go to Shelby Coppage.
Well, Creighton head coach Kirsten Bernthal-Booth called the play after timeout. She said, if you don't adjust your block, they will start rolling on you, and exactly what happened, a roll shot. She's warning their team, I want you to press hard, but watch out for their hands, their fingers. If they show you they're rolling or tipping, I want you to cheat to the middle.
Yeah, cover the soft spot, the donut or the campfire. Thank you, Shelby. When Penn State started taking big swings and disdaining the tip and the roll shot, that's when they started to really streak in that third set. They won it 25-22 after trailing 12-6. Merzik, reception and attack. Dug nicely by Sis. Cameron Hanna, nice first contact. Cameron Hanna playing out of position in the backcourt. That was a really good contact by number 8.
If you remember, Paul, early in this match, Ava Martin was by far performing the best of all of our outsides. All of a sudden, Jess Merzik has overtaken her. 14 kills from Merzik now in this one, and she's the one hitting 244. Ava Martin hitting at 231.
Merzik, the second team All-American out of Livonia, Michigan, played 3 years at Michigan before transferring. That ball is going to be out of bounds. Very nice block work by Jordan Hopp, the Iowa State transfer.
Substitution made by Penn State in a key role. And Hopp coming in, scoring for the team.
4-1 run for Penn State. Must win for Creighton. That ball served just out of bounds. Flat serve, very clean, very flat and clean, but just a little bit out of bounds. Merzik now with 14 kills. Jaravicius second with 9. Ava Martin leading the way for Creighton with 13. No assists, very quiet, 7 kills on 23 swings, 6 errors. Hanna, oh, what a block by Getzinger.
It feels like Getzinger needed this. She has not been able to get her offense going. And oftentimes you can turn defense into offense, create a little momentum for yourself.
Nice pass by Faldudo, good in reception. Merzik missed it out of the back row. Goes right to Stark. It's a perfect set, my bad.
Yeah, she did. I like the communication. When you have a young setter, I like the way Jess Merzik plays as the older player there. Turning to the setter, letting her know, hey, that's right where it needs to be. That's on me.
Love that point you made about the middle struggling for Creighton. We'll give you their numbers after this point. Off the top of the block and out of bounds. Nice kill that time once again by Cameron Hanna. But Elise Getzinger, 5 of 11, 3 errors. Kiara Reinhardt, 2 of 9, 1 error. Not enough. Not efficient enough. Puts a lot of pressure on the outsides.
And particularly on a night when Jaya Johnson as well only has 6 kills. So Ava Martin has a whole lot riding on her shoulders. And that's not typical of Creighton. What we've said about them all year is that they get production all around. That's what makes Creighton Creighton.
Combination play. Beautiful delivery by Waite. Martin, the recipient. The lead is 11-7.
The deceptive delivery by Kendra Waite is just next to level. If you watch her, her hands, she jumps, she sets the ball on her way down, she tries to bait the middle blocker. She does so much behind the scenes, it just can go unnoticed.
Second ever regional final for the Creighton Blue Jays. The last was in 2016. A 3-0 loss to Texas. Big swing by Merzik off the edge of the block. Nice isolation out of the back row.
Yeah, not only going back to her in the back row, but using her in a different zone out of the back row, coming out of right back.
Penn State, by comparison, is in their 21st regional final. That's an overpass. Joust coming, and won that time by Hanna.
Izzy Stark can do it all. Defense, strong at the net. The setting goes without saying, but this is the result of an Izzy Stark serve.
Freshman of the year in the Big Ten Conference, and certainly one of the leading candidates, if not the top candidate for National Freshman of the Year. Big swing for Hanna. What a block. Go, go, Getzinger.
And I can really appreciate a player who, once again, like we said, the slide play hasn't quite got going for her. But when that doesn't happen, you find ways to contribute to the match. And when you're a fifth-year player like Elise Getzinger, everything's on the line for you tonight.
7th scoring block for Getzinger and Creighton, compared to 6 for Penn State. Good first contact. Martin will track that down. Oh, look at that set in transition. Take a swing. Pretty good swing, but just missed it out of bounds. We might have a challenge. The ball was called out of bounds, and the Creighton Blue Jays were swarming. They were up off the bench in a nanosecond after that high flat swing by number 2 in blue.
The call on the floor is ball out, point Penn State. Creighton is challenging that there was a touch.
Nora Sis has had a magnificent career, over 1,600 kills, over 1,000 digs. Big East Player of the Year as a sophomore.
But quite honestly, for Creighton to be where they are in this match, with Nora Sis hitting 0, that's surprising.
It's stunning. That's absolutely stunning. They are balanced, no question about that. But when you look at Nora Sis to go along with Ava Martin, between the two of them, they average 7.6 kills per set. It's almost half of what is averaged by Creighton on the year.
Only one blocker up here, so it would have to be Taylor Trammell, the left hand.
We had a very close bang-bang challenge earlier on in the match, and it has to be absolutely conclusive that Taylor Trammell did make contact with that attack by Sis.
Yeah, I think it's important that the call on the floor was no touch, because earlier when we had that ball travel off the block and we thought perhaps there was a touch, the call on the floor had been no touch and there just wasn't enough to overturn it.
These two teams meeting, ironically, it's stunning as good as both of these programs have been. This is the first time they have ever met on the volleyball court. Penn State 18-0, make it 19-0 on their home floor so far on the year. The co-champions of the Big Ten Conference. Congratulations once again to Dan Fisher and the Pitt Panthers. 4 straight years into the national semifinals.
Review, the ball is out. There was no touch.
Wow.
Penn State wins
no
the
touch. The call will stand.
Challenge.
Danny Busboom-Kelly leading the Louisville Cardinals into the national semifinals for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. And John Cook and Nebraska.
The pressure that has been on the Louisville Cardinals all season long to play in the national semifinals in their hometown was immense, and you just saw the relief in that victory last night. It was tremendous.
The last team to win the national championship at home was the UCLA Bruins a lifetime ago. Ball served out of bounds. 13-10 is the advantage now. Nathan back on. Penn State won the opening set easily. Creighton returned the favor. 25-22 close there. Creighton in a must-win situation. Pretty good pass there by Grimes. That was a deep, deep serve. Chance for Creighton to extend the lead. Where do you go? Into the cross court, dug by Stark. Johnson again, no, left side to Sis. Oh, what a dig by Nathan. Jocelyn Nathan out of Wilmington, Delaware, was dealing at the defensive end.
Jess Merzick doing her job and then some. There have been some matches over the last month where maybe the offensive numbers haven't been there, and she just battles in serve receive, battles as a blocker. Tonight, the offense is there as well.
Beautiful set. That ball smartly off the edge. Nora Sis. Sis now with 8 kills on 27 swings. Let's go to Shelby Coppage.
You just saw outside hitter for Creighton, Nora Sis, go off the block. That's something her head coach, Kirsten Booth said. I challenge you against Penn State. The block is your friend. I want to see you touch fingers, go off high hands, and even tool. I don't want to see the cut shot every time, and clearly it's paying off for her.
Thank you, Shelby. Breaking digits. We want to go out there and break digits. Service ace that time by Martin. Has 8 digs on the night. That was her 2nd service ace. Right side, Jaravicious, heavy ball. Beautiful dig by Sis. And that ball out of bounds. Wow. Each team is down to 1 challenge, so these are very, very valuable. If we do play a 5th set, each team will get another challenge. You can challenge in and out, touch off the block, 3-meter line, foot fault, service line. Ball up or down, 4 contacts, and back row attacker. Excellent pass. Still not a lot of middle. Dug here by Grimes. The littles for Penn State have been spectacular on both sides, actually. And how about the bigs? They're okay, too.
And no one thought it would be Hop, but Jordan Hop at the net. Interesting choice there by Kendra Waite as they bring Ava Martin in and set her in that gap. It actually makes the distance that Hop has to travel a little less. I think the ball to the antenna there is more likely to be successful.
Ace serve. Timeout, Creighton. First service ace for Penn State since the opening set. 3 teams are already in. The Pitt Panthers. Valeria Vasquez Gomez in her 6th year, congratulations, gets the honor. Pitt in for the 4th straight year. The Louisville Cardinals in for the 3rd year out of the last 4. And Lexi Rodriguez and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska into the national semifinals for the 18th time. They will take on the winner of this match, the 5-time national champion Cornhuskers, and who will fill that final spot.
Watching that Nebraska match today, Lexi Rodriguez made it so clear that littles can have a huge impact on a match. And I feel like maybe Penn State was watching that one, because these back row players for Penn State are also out there making a huge impact on this match, the way they are keeping balls off the floor. I'm impressed.
Shelby, what did you hear from Creighton?
Creighton middle blocker Elise Getzinger said, "We got this," and she said, "Nothing else matters to me but this team, and nothing else matters but this set." Remember, Creighton has not lost one match since Louisville in September. After that match, Elise Getzinger said, "We only lost because we were afraid of the name Louisville." In the locker room, she told her team, "I know what it takes to win it all." She did her freshman year with Kentucky. She said, "I came to Creighton because I know we can do that too." It was really awesome to see her smile on her team and said, "I don't care about anything else but this team."
Thank you, Shelby. And remember, Creighton has already beaten the Texas Longhorns, who came in as the 2-time defending national champions, now taking on another iconic program in Penn State. Missy Whittemore, Paul Sunderland courtside. That ball did catch a piece of the backcourt. Very, very close indeed. Coach Schumacher-Colley is thinking about challenging. You know, we've been talking a lot about the littles. And if you watch volleyball in the Olympics, you don't see the littles because you're only allowed 6 total substitutions. Women's college volleyball, you're allowed 15. So strategically, it's a very, very different part of the game.
But because Louisville runs a 6-2 and does so much subbing, they actually ran out of subs.
Getzinger. Miscue out of the middle by Penn State. And the lead is back up to 3. Once again, Creighton trailing 2-1, must win in order to extend the match to a 5th set. Their only 2 losses were in 5 to both Nebraska and Louisville. Here's Bilanovic against her old teammate, Jillian Grimes. Service ace, and the lead is 4. Timeout, Missy?
I don't think quite yet. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm wrong on the challenges. I'm right on the timeouts. Timeout called by Penn State. 18-14 is the advantage. Coming up later on tonight on SportsCenter, Patrick Mahomes. This is not good news. Patrick Mahomes is injured. Josh Allen takes on the Lions. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown reconnect. Another very, very big day in the NFL, as it has been in college volleyball. Nebraska earlier, very impressive. I just didn't think that you could beat a team as good as Wisconsin 3 times.
Yeah.
And each one of those matches was 3 in a row. All congratulations to John Cook, my buddy Jordan Larson, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Harper Murray was spectacular. How about the tutelage? Harper Murray, in her 2nd year, having to have Jordan Larson arguably the greatest Olympian of all time for the United States as your assistant coach. Pretty good deal.
Well, it makes me think about the situation here at Penn State, because we've already mentioned Katie Schumacher-Cauley on that first national championship team here at Penn State in 1999. And then alongside her on the bench, Megan Hodge, Easy, who won championships in 2007, 2008, and 2009, her sophomore, junior, and senior year. Her freshman year in 2006, she was just the national freshman of the year.
And
what a career.
Shelby, you've got something. There's Megan Hodge, Olympic silver medalist. Go ahead.
Yeah, Big Stuff Penn State's assistant coach Megan Hodge was the first one in the huddle, showing them how to read against the offensive Creighton. And head coach Katie Schumacher-Cauley said that last season Megan Hodge really wasn't vocal. It was her first year getting used to coaching, and she said this season she has really been vocal in the huddle, and right now taking over too.
Good pass by Merzick. Thank you, Shelby. Over the top of the block and missed out of bounds. And Merzick is saying definitely a touch. And there was one called. A little bit late, but better late than never. Well, there's some dispute here as to whether or not there was a touch. Megan Hodge is on the Mount Rushmore. There is no question about that.
The ruling on the court is ball out, point Creighton. Penn State is challenging that there was a touch.
Jess Merzick, quite honestly, trying to force the hand of Coach Katie Schumacher-Cauley. She took the ball back to the service line. She was rotating as though the call had been made in her favor, and the up official shakes her head no and says, no, there was no touch called. Ball goes to Creighton.
Well, Merzick convinced me.
Yeah.
I figured she went back there so decisively and emphatically that no question that there had been a touch. She was going back to serve. The hitters know, but whether or not the technology and the frames per second, I think the rotation on that ball changes. I think that there is a touch. Jaya Johnson on the outside. It has to be absolutely conclusive.
And if it's not a touch, is that going to be the final challenge for Coach Shady?
Yes, unless we go five.
Unless we go to a fifth.
Love the challenge system. It gets better and better each year. It's a different system than the Olympic Games. It's a function of money,
After
really.
review, there was a touch.
There you go.
Penn State will win
So,
the battle and the challenge.
not as importantly, because it's a point on the board, but Katie Schumacher-Cauley still has one challenge remaining. Penn State is out of timeouts. Creighton has one left.
Well, the way Jess Merzick went back to the service line with the ball, she may have convinced the officials as well.
Merzick had 20 kills on Friday night in the win over Marquette. Has 17 so far tonight. Nice pass again by Martin, right side. And Go-Go Getzinger is starting to get it done. A national champion when in Kentucky.
Kendra Waite keeps on going to her. Eventually, you know that's going to heat up. The effort is there, the execution will come, and that's what it looks like when it's executed well.
Well, it's heavy from Getzinger. If there's any room, she is going to bury that ball in the floor. Service error that time by Sydney Breisinger, defensive specialist, one of the littles.
And this is where Creighton was not good in that last set. They played with a lead and they were not able to close the door. It's something they've talked about all season long. They call it the edge zone. Once they get to 20, and their goal has been to be aggressive in the edge zone. I don't think they accomplished that in the last set. We'll see if they can turn the tables.
Here is the reception from Creighton. Sis now out of the passing. High up off of Taylor Trammell and out of bounds. That is such a quality swing. All you young outside hitters, learn to love the opponent's block. You can bang off them, top of the fingers, off the edge. Beautifully done by Ava Martin.
But
all career long.
But it was an aggressive swing into the block. In the prior set, she was just going for a high, deep shot, kind of off the top of the block.
Trammell. She clears the way. Hannah with a cut shot. Watch the joust. Good play that time by Hannah to reset the point. Merzick out of the back row, off speed. What a read that time by Waite. Hannah. Dug by Breisinger. Taylor Trammell says, not now.
At a system. This ball is stuck inside. We saw Ava Martin able to pull one off the block, but Nora Sis that time is smothered by Taylor Trammell.
Third block for Trammell, and that ball missed out of bounds. Back and forth, the ebb and flow. 21-17, but as you so rightly pointed out, remember, in the previous set, Creighton led 12-6 as Olivia Hausman comes on to serve. Jaravicius hitting on the left side. This is rotation one. Not yet. Ball was close to being on the floor. Kendra Waite, aggressive on the setting position.
Penn State making them fight for every point. Look at this effort. Incredible. And then while they're scrambling, that's when Kendra Waite goes to the second ball over.
Good pass by Hannah, and nice response by Jaravicius. 22-18.
Double digits, make it 10 now of 21.
Cameron Hannah has 8 of 27. Merzick leading the way. Martin with 15. She and Nora Sis combined for 30, 15 each the other night in the win over Texas. Martin out of the back row is blocked. Creighton does have a timeout left. Kendra Waite is in the front court. The Penn State block must be aware on a tight pass. Oh, served out of bounds. Just missed by Hannah. Penn State leading 2-1. Nathan is back on along with Jillian Grimes in reception for Penn State. Merzick is there as well. 2 points away from a fifth set tiebreaker. Where does Waite go? Off the hands. Reinhardt with a kill. Set points now for Creighton, and they've got 5 of them.
Vilanovic does a nice job on the free ball, and I like the fact that Trammell backed her up, made her play that ball on the inline. It gave the defense a chance to set up.
Set point. Good pass. Trammell right back at you. Oh, and talking a little trash. She's going to hear about it from the official. She gets off the court as fast as possible. The second referee, Bill Stanley, was trying to chase her down. She got the heck out of Dodge.
And Katie Schumacher-Colley just with a smile back at Taylor Trammell.
Set point number 2. Good pass by Martin. Right side one-on-one. And we're going to play 5. This match was a perfect example of parity in the country and how incredibly competitive this entire tournament has been. So here we go into the 5th set. For the final ticket, we're going to play a 15-point tiebreaker here at Rec Hall. Creighton in a must-win situation, convincingly, 25-20 over Penn State. Right down to the wire. It's not easy to get to a national semifinal. Only 12 teams in the nation have ever won this esteemed title. Penn State has won it 7 times. Creighton has never been to a national semifinal. Whoever gets to 15-2 first is going to Louisville. The national semifinals are on Thursday. The championship match will be on Sunday on ABC.
Paul Creighton has also never won a 5th set this season. They've played 5-setters against Louisville
and Nebraska.
Against Nebraska, thank you. And they were not able to pull those out. They have been talking about the edge zone for about a year and a half. It all comes down to this.
Well, based on that and their resumes, Penn State out of the Big Ten, Creighton out of the Big East, who is the favorite here in the 5th set?
I think you have to look at the fact that Penn State has had some 5-set win this year. You know, that they've been able to beat UCLA. They've been able to beat Kentucky. They've been able to come up in that 5th set. They're on their home court. There's a lot of discussion all season long about which one of these teams would earn home court advantage in the tournament. Huge win over Nebraska for Penn State. got them this home court advantage, and this is why it's so important in this moment.
They were in Wisconsin the last 2 years and came up short.
Yes.
Back at Rec Hall, underway, 5th set. Sis off the top, dug by Nathan. She has been superb in the backcourt. Off speed, Merzik is slowed. What a read by Waite. Block deflection, Stark with the first contact. Merzik, touch off the block, and Penn State gets on the board first. Huge advantage, particularly playing this very late match. Much easier to deal with for Penn State at home. Tough for Creighton on the road. They played the early match on Friday afternoon. Ball's out of bounds. Razor thin margins. Just to recap, Penn State, headed up by Katie Schumacher-Colley in her ongoing battle with cancer, won the opening set 25-15. I will step aside and let this crowd get involved. Right side, Jaravicius. Big swing, but a better block. Ava Martin along with Reinhardt.
There has been very little stopping of Caroline Jaravicius in this match by Creighton. She's hitting .304 now, has 10 kills. That's only her 4th error.
Ava Martin, nice move. That's tough, saved by Stark. Wait, where do you go? Outside. A little confusion, free ball to Penn State. Good play by Grimes to step in front of Trammell. And off the defense that time of Kendra Waite. She doesn't miss that one very often.
In those free ball situations, I've been watching so many teams are sending that ball short into the court. And teams have gotten so well at cleaning up that first contact, that middle blocker stepping in and taking that. I've just seen very little error there. I like the ball sent deeper into the corner.
Each team got an additional challenge. Overpass and hop right on the sideline.
Hop inserted into this match, has played limited role this season, but no point bigger than that one.
That ball is served out of bounds. Mentioned that each team got an additional challenge, so they each have 2. Also 2 timeouts, in spite of the fact that this tiebreaker is only played to 15. Maddie Bilanovic, the former Nittany Lion, back to serve. 15 digs on the night. That was the 13th service error for Penn State. Good pass. Do you go to Hop? No. Jaravicius. Heavy hand. Complimentary player. You talked about it before first serve. There is Joe.
Chewing the nails.
His daughter has had a very, very nice night in the regional final. Here's Nathan. Tough swing by Martin. Good swing, high up into the block, restart the point. And again, did she get a piece? Missed it out of bounds. Teams will change sides when one reaches 8. Kirsten Bernthal Booth just told Ava Martin, her outstanding outside hitter, you just keep swinging, keep swinging. Good pass by Martin, back to her, no, right side. Getzinger, oh, Getzinger is stopped. Three 0 run by the Nittany Lions. Timeout Creighton. A critical block given the timing and context of where this match is, Missy.
And Paul, this is the matchup that Katie Schumacher-Colley said yesterday. We said, is there a particular matchup you'd like to have if you could get it? She said, I would like to have Jess Merzik blocking the slide of Getzinger. That's exactly why she wanted that matchup.
First Big East team to reach a national semifinal. 14th and the first since 2017. For the Nittany Lions. And recent history, when you think about quote-unquote non-football schools, the last to win, Long Beach State in 1998. 1999, Long Beach State Pacific made it back to the national semifinals. Santa Clara also there in 2005. This is a huge moment in the life of these athletes. The lead is 6-3. Still plenty of time for Creighton. It's really been back and forth. I started to give the line score: 25-15 Penn State, 25-16 to Creighton, 25-22 to Penn State, and then 25-20 in the fourth set against Penn State, led by Katie Schumacher-Colley. And Creighton never trailed in the fourth set. Merzik now with 18 kills. She had 20 on Friday night. Working on Martin, just inside the 3-meter line. What a smart swing. Bernthal Booth said, "You just keep swinging." Sydney Breisinger had 17 digs in the loss that you talked about, that long match against Nebraska. Very capable. All of these athletes are. Merzik overhand, right back to her. Don't tip. You can't tip against this team. Good read.
Hannah in the backcourt.
Oh my goodness. What a play and read defensively by Cameron Hannah,
who plays a half a rotation in the backcourt in this particular match. Hasn't even done that for most of the season, and she picks up the off speed from Kendra Waite. Huge play.
Teams will change sides when one reaches 8. 19 kills now for Merzik. Has been superb in all phases. Right side. Grimes first contact. Merzik out of the back row. Dug over. Hannah! Jess Merzik got just enough heat to give Creighton some problems.
You're thinking that's going to be an easy ball to handle, but Jess Merzik, such a smart swing, gets just enough snap on it. It creates an overpass by Nora Sis, and Hannah hammers that one.
Hannah now with 9 kills. It's been a tough night on the other side, as it has been for Nora Sis. Both 30 swings, 28 for Hannah, and they're hitting 0. As many kills as errors. A lot of pressure on Martin. Good read. What a read by Vilanovic. Trying to go short again. Ava Faldudo, number 2 in white, was all over it. Timeout Creighton, the lead is 5. Penn State unbeaten in this building, only lost 3 times in the entire history of the NCAA tournament at Rec Hall. Thoughts here on the Creighton side? They are reeling right now, trailing 9-4.
Well, I think it goes back to the edge zone, something that they've talked about. We showed their visualization. Coach Bernthal Booth said to her team, when you're visualizing the end of a match, when you're visualizing that set point, you don't visualize your opponent making an error. You visualize yourself going up and executing an attack. And I think we're seeing them a little hesitant. We're seeing the tip shots. You know, I think they want to go down swinging, and I think that's how they turn this around. They go out, they've got to apply pressure.
Comes back to first contact. And then when you get a ball, side out, score, point in possession, you got to go back to the line and do some work. There is time for Creighton.
Penn State, number 5 in white, Jordan Hopp, inserted into this match in the second set. She has played, Paul, in 12 sets the entire season. 12 of 121 sets, and here she is in the biggest moment of the year.
very, very efficient and effective middle blocker for Iowa State. Struggling offensively is Creighton, 1 of 13 here in the 5th set with 3 errors. A lot of serves to Martin. Vilanovic there, Martin. Good. Oh, block deflection. That's a missed opportunity by Penn State. The old, you take it, I've got it.
Yeah, and I think the ball was a little closer to Cameron Hanna, but because she's the attacker in that rotation, she's thinking maybe Jess Merzick cuts her off on that and she gets outside ready to hit.
Yeah, Hanna just said, my bad.
Yeah.
9-5. Merzick out of the back row. Oh, what a swing.
That's who I'm going to right now. Jess Merzick is here to play. She has not blinked this entire match. Whether things are going good or bad, she has been steady.
20 kills on 54 swings. 3rd this set. 10-5 is the advantage. Oh, nice pass by Vilanovic. Menger, first contact. Two-handed slam, dunk by Stark.
Again, the offense not there. Sis has to send a tip over. The dig right on top of Izzy Stark, and you're looking at a very likely candidate for Freshman of the Year.
Penn State, this iconic, legendary ace serve. Three points away. 7 times a national champion. Won 4 in a row from 2007 to 2010. Creighton has never been to the national semifinals. This would be the 14th for Penn State. Getzinger again. Getzinger 8 kills on 16 swings.
Smart, because she had to reset on the first ball. She didn't try to do too much with it. The second one, the look is there, and she comes up big.
Hanna. It has not been her night. What a block that time by Reinhardt, wearing number 5 in blue. Penn State has both of their timeouts. Each team has 2 challenges.
You think these teams were prepared to defend the left side? I mean, Cameron Hanna and Nora Sis have had to work.
What communication by Merzick along with Grimes. That was a very tough serve. 2 points away. Katie Schumacher-Colley, Big Ten Coach of the Year. In her life battle, diagnosed with breast cancer in September, has already undergone several rounds of chemotherapy. Will have to undergo surgery after the first of the year. 1 point away. Izzy Stark serving for the regional title. To Hanna, no, out of the middle to Trammell.